What is up today, guys? Brian here. Today we are putting the front plastics back on the 2007 Arctic Cat. I've gotten everything cleaned up and time to get this jewel put back together. Kind of been patiently waiting. I do have some stuff I want to do to it, but I'll just have to, take it as it goes. And but for the most part, I mean, putting the plastics back on like I wanted to run a wiring harness. I'm going to put an LED light on the front, light bar. I wanted to get me a harness ring for that with a switch and all that stuff, but I have to order it, so I've got to get that. I'm looking at those today, so I'm getting that ordered. But I'll show you, I don't know if you watched one of the other videos, this little spacer here that goes in the plastics in the rubber grommet, and the rack sits on top of these. I ordered one because I was missing one. Well, I got to looking the other day, and actually I was missing three. That one there, that one there, and that one. And that's the one I ordered the new grommet and the spacer for, and I have the spacer and grommet for that one. So instead of ordering two more and having to wait another 4 days to get them, I kind of made me some, and they're going to work. But if you haven't seen anybody put a square peg in a round hole, you're getting ready to see it, because this is what I'm doing. What I did was I bought 1/4-inch compression nuts, and then I took a step bit, and drilled the end of it, which I super glued these washers on here, but I took the step bit, and it was a 5/16, drilled it out to where the bolt will fit. Then I took me some Gorilla Glue, super glue, glued me 2 washers on there. So if you look at them, they ain't too far off. So they're going to work. And I've already put one in the grommet, pushed one down into the grommet, and they will go down in there, and there's still play, so everything still has movement. Other than that, I've got everything laid out. This is all my bolts, and these are lug nuts for the one front wheel there. My shift knob to go on. I originally started out, I took some square tubing I found that was the exact size I needed, inside diameter, and I cut me 2 pieces the thickness of that spacer, and was going to do the same thing, put the washers on top. And I took them to the grinding wheel over there and tried to round them off to where they would fit down in the rubber grommet, and I got them to fit, but they're really sharp edges and stuff. And I just happened to be at Tractor Supply picking up some feed, and was just walking through looking for, I was going to buy some round tubing. They had the exact size tubing that I needed, but it was going to be like $10 to buy a 4-foot piece when I only needed 2 pieces that were less than a 1/2 inch. So I just bought I saw these, and I was like, you know what, that'll work. I can just use the step bit on it, drill it out a little bit, and be good to go. So that's what I did. So that's what we're going to use. I've got all my tools laid out, got everything laid out here I need, got my other plastics here cleaned up, ready to go on, and so we're going to get started doing that stuff, getting everything put back on here, and go from there. So I'm going to set you down, and we'll get started. Make sure you can see everything good. Not like it's too exciting, but it is going back together. tricky part, maneuvering all this around. Probably help if I get on the other side of that. I done had this on there. Oh, that's what I did. I had the handlebars turned. Almost there, almost there. Funny thing is, I had this the other day, the shifter handle is tricky to get in there. There it is. Go. Looking to see if all, excuse me, all the holes lined up where everything's got a bolt going to. With plastics, there will be some finagling, that's for sure. Moving some stuff around. There we go. Man, that looks so much better. It's actually, let's put this piece on first. I hate these push pins. These are a pain in the ass. They are a pain in the arse. Oh, that's why. Sucker, I don't want to come out there. There it is. Man, some of them things are stiff. They hold on there good. Now I can put the rack back on. Jiggling around too much. Well, you can't get into this thing because of this daggone. I'll try to get into it that way. For these front ones where it's got that plastic shroud up underneath of there, we'll go ahead and try to get this one set down in here. There it is. very possible that this rack might be a little bit bent. And again, it could just be them back here too. Alright, now the fun part. Try to get these nuts up in here. With this plastic shroud that's around the radiator that like guides air into it, you can't get your hand in there to get those bolts off. And I had put some zip ties around that to help hold it up in there right. And I guess I'm going to cut them out. So I can bend that unit out there. That's the only thing I can do. Yep, that's what I had to do. There we go. There's one started. Alright, got that one started. There's the third one. Things being cantankerous. Oh, you started good. There it is. This plastic where it's been off so long and moved around and stood on its end and everything else, it's probably all waffle jawed. everything's lined up back here. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these suckers up. Do the two front ones here in just a second. These are the easy ones to get to. Now these outer ones right here, they didn't have a rubber grommet on them. It was just a bolt with a nut and washer. Good. All right. Down here, I'm gonna go ahead and plug my headlights back in. Now what I was thinking about doing on my light bar, I'm going to put my light bar right here on the front. And I'm going to mount it up here at rack height. It's not going to be up on this very top, but it's going to be right here in the front. And what I was thinking about doing was just running the wires down and connecting them into my high beams. So when I turn my high beams on, that would come on. I don't want to, that'd be a lot more power running through these smaller wires. So I'm debating whether to maybe just disconnect these high beams and make the high beam be the LED bar, light bar, and do it that way, and not worry about having these high beams. These lights actually do work pretty good. I mean, as far as lighting being able to see back in the woods and stuff. But I do want to put me a light bar on here, so I'm kind of up in the air about what I'm going to do there. But we can get that figured out. That's not a big problem. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie these covers back. Oh, and I did get to change the oil filter the other day. I didn't video it. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't, because I made a freaking mess on my floor. Luckily, I had this tarp down, and I tried to get the majority of it cleaned up. I hope it didn't soak through the tarp. Looks like it might have there in a couple of spots, but yeah, it was kind of. Sat there and told myself before I pulled the oil pan, because I had to stick it down in this wooden stand I made. I had to stick it down in there. Well, I had to bend the pan just a little bit to get it in there, and I started drain the oil out, and it was really runny. 5W30, and once it was all drained, I started picking the pan up. I told myself, okay, don't tip it. Well, what did my dumbass do? I tipped it. And I spilled some of it out. So yeah, I made a mess. And I had to clean it up. But you'll have that. The good news was the drain plug, it also has a magnet on it. And there was very, very minimal. There was just a few little metal shavings stuck to it, which, for as old as the four-wheeler is, and there's going to be some metal shavings. I don't care what anybody says, you're going to have some metal shavings. Wasn't nothing big, just some really fine stuff. And other than that, everything looked good. The oil was really dirty. But no more. There was less oil shavings on that motor one than there was on the front and rear diff drain plugs when I pulled them out. So okay. Headlights are hooked back up. Man, it looks like a four-wheeler again. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. I'll stick this shifter knob. It just has a push pin. And this is what you use to put it forward and reverse. It just has a push pin. With that is all it is. Which it is a tight fit down on it. And that's back on. Make sure that thing's got a spring in it. Yeah. Alright, that's good to go. Trying to grab what tools I need here. Now I'm basically just going to be putting all these bolts back in. Got to get the floorboards is what's going to go on. Now, first these upper plastic bolts, then we'll get to the floorboards. Move around to the other side. So far, so good. Everything's going back together the way it should. Cobwebs. Should have cleaned this rack up a little bit. I guess next unit. Oh, also underneath this cover right here, there is an accessory wire under here, a plug, and I may also hook that light into that and just run a switch off of it to where I can turn it on and off when the four-wheeler's running and not have to worry about everything. I forgot about that. I was online looking on eBay for a plug to match it, and I found some. I'm going to order one of those, and so I can use that as in part of the wiring to wire from the light to that. But probably what I'm going to do is build brackets off of right here over the speed rack system. But I'm just going to take two pieces of square tubing, stick in here, and then I'll mount the light bar to that. And that way, if I ever need, I can remove it if I want, do whatever I want to do. I just don't want it up here on the rack anywhere where it's blocking me from being able to utilize using that. Okay, I got to take the handlebar loose, get my bracket mounted on there for my gauge cluster. I'll have to readjust my handlebars, because all these bolts have to come out of here. Raise that one up high enough, thought I did. See, remember I had them up a little bit more for me. I'm not going to tighten them down too tight because they do have a torque spec on them. And want to make sure I get it. Make sure those are definitely torqued down to the right spec. Where's my seat? My dusty seat. I'll grab some. Yeah, at least got the dust knocked off of it. Where I can get up on it without falling over. Oops. I believe I need to move them over. Maybe do it. Yeah, that's a little grooves that they need to come over. There's grooves on that side. There we go. Let's see, is that what I want? I guess right there is what I want. Can't tell. Almost feels like I got the handlebars over too far or something. Yep. That's about all right. That's about right there. That should be tight enough. Per their torque spec of 20 pounds, 20 foot-pounds. Feels good and solid. Look right. Get down on this. Push pins for that. Where'd they get? Where'd they get? There they are. These little push pins here actually have a Phillips head on them. They suck. They're not the greatest. Alright, all my rubber hoses are shoved up under that. The breather lines. Plug in. Gauges are plugged in. I don't know about you all, but I hate doing these daggone key switches. Trying to tighten these things up is just the biggest pain in the butt there ever was. When I first got this thing, it was loose. So I went to tightening it up and I marred it up. And I was like, well, I'll order another one, but I'm not ordering another one. It's not going to go with that shoved all the way in. Well, trying to do this blind. Where is the stinking hole? Boy, everything needs to be clear now. There it is. Give me a stubby. These things don't really tighten up. They just expand that plastic out enough to keep it from coming off there. Alright, that's all the... Alright, finish tightening this up before I forget. So, I'm not going to use a pair of channel locks to tighten up that lock ring on the ignition. I'm just going to use me a little flat punch here and just barely tap it, tighten it up the rest of the way. That's good, tight, not going anywhere. Looky there, everything works. Imagine that. Says I got over half a tank gas. Time's a little off, says it's 7:52. I have to try to figure out, to look at the owner's manual, try to figure out how to set that. But other than that, everything is it's in four-wheel drive. There, it just switched out of four-wheel drive. All right. Oh, the headlights working. Oh yeah. Man, we are good. We are good, good, good. Got my floorboards here. See if I can remember which one goes where. Trying to remember. I believe this one is the shifter side. Get it in there. Man, it is looking like a four-wheeler again. All right. Uh-oh. I bet that's my buddy Benny calling me. We'll just have to answer it in a little bit. Let me get this one push pin out of here. There it is. Alright guys, we're going to call her quits on that one right there. Only thing I got left to do is put the bolts in the floorboard, the run boards here, whatever you want to call them, and the fenders, back front fenders. We got, what do we got? 1, 2, 3 this side, 3 that side, and yeah, that's going to be it. She'll be done back together, ready to do the wheels. I'm working on something for tires. I don't know if it's going to fly or not, but I'm going to try. So hopefully the next video on this might have some good news, I hope. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. I appreciate everybody hanging with me, doing this. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's 5:11. We got a bunch of work done today. That was, I say a bunch of work, wasn't really that much, but it was in a way. And but I'm pleased with it. I am just that much closer to riding it. So, with that being said, I'm going to have me a cold one. You guys take it easy. Stay safe. Remember your social distancing. I know everybody's probably getting tired of hearing that, but I love you guys. Don't want to see anybody get sick and die from this crap. It's really bad. Some places will foo-foo it off. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, it is. It is. It's getting worse here in our state, here in West Virginia. And it seems like every day the number is going up, more cases being found and all that. So, that being said, you guys be safe. Love you. Remember, go fix something. We'll see you later. Y'all be good.